Life often feels like a journey through a vast desert, full of challenges that test our patience and perseverance. We may face moments when the path seems unclear, when the future is uncertain, and when our strength begins to wane. But it's in these very moments that God's grace shines brightest. Trusting in His promises, even when the road ahead seems difficult, is the key to unlocking the strength to keep moving forward. Let me speak to the person who feels like God has forgotten them. You've been faithful. You've fasted. You've spoken the word, yet nothing seems to change. But hear me, delay is not denial. God has not put your life on hold. He's preparing a grand unveiling. You are not in a forgotten season. You are in a forming season. What looks like silence is the sound of heaven working behind the scenes, orchestrating a divine moment that only He can see. Some of you have been walking with a quiet ache, waiting, praying, hoping, watching others move forward while your door remains closed. You're not lazy. You're not unprepared. You're just in the in-between. The man at the pool of Bethesda, for 38 years, this man laid by the pool, watching others step in, waiting for his chance, hoping for a miracle. 38 years of unanswered prayers, 38 years of feeling left out, passed over, forgotten. But one day, Jesus walked straight to him. He didn't ask for a resume. He didn't need the man to crawl to the pool. He just asked one question: do you want to be made whole? And in an instant, what years of waiting couldn't fix, Jesus healed with one word. God knows exactly where you are. The crowd may overlook you, but God never will. And when your appointed moment comes, you won't have to fight to step in. God will step to you. You are not in a forgotten season. You are in a forming season. You see, God's timing is not man's timing. He does not operate on the tick of your wristwatch or the calendar on your phone. He is the master author, writing a story that is richer, deeper, and more meaningful than you can imagine. If you could see the blueprint, you'd understand the waiting. If you could glimpse what's ahead, you'd thank Him for the not-yets. Because some blessings, if given too soon, can become burdens. Some doors, if opened too early, can crush the very destiny they're supposed to unlock. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on God's schedule. You're in the hands of the one who sees the end from the beginning. He doesn't need your timeline. He needs your trust. And trust isn't passive. Trust shows up when you still praise, even in silence, when you still worship, even in the wilderness, when you keep building, even when no one is watching. That's faith. That's the kind of trust that moves the heart of God. Hannah was in a long season of deep pain and delay. Others around her were having children easily, but she remained barren. She cried, fasted, and poured out her soul before God, and still no answer. But what she didn't know is that God wasn't just preparing a baby. He was preparing a prophet. Samuel wasn't just a child. He was going to be a voice for the nation. And when the time was right, God opened her womb, and her miracle arrived with purpose beyond what she asked for. Sometimes God isn't just giving you what you want. He's preparing something that will shake generations. God's not just preparing the promise for you. He's preparing you for the promise. So yes, it's hard when your prayers seem unanswered. It's heavy when others get what you've been fasting for. But listen, God's blessings don't run out. You're not in competition with anyone. The door God has for you won't open for someone else. He's not making you wait because He's punishing you. He's making you wait because what's coming requires preparation. It requires maturity. It requires capacity. And above all, it requires obedience. even when nothing makes sense. And God is not just preparing the promise for you, He's preparing you for the promise. Don't misread the season you're in. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean it's dead. Just because it's dark doesn't mean you're buried. You might just be planted. And when the roots grow deep in private, the fruit grows strong in public. Some of the most powerful breakthroughs don't come in a shout. They come in the stillness, in the unseen hours, in the obedience to keep showing up when no one claps for you. You might feel hidden. But even Jesus was hidden for 30 years before his public ministry began. Heaven's timing is never rushed, and God is not intimidated by your impatience. He understands your tears. He counts them. He bottles them. But He's also whispering, hold on, I'm not done. And when He moves, it will be worth every lonely night, every closed door, every no, every silent moment. He is the God who shows up right on time, and God is always near to the brokenhearted. When things feel uncertain and painful, remember that He is close to you. Take heart, because He promises to be with you through every trial. In the Bible, when the Israelites were trapped between the Red Sea and the Egyptian army, they were scared. But God made a way for them, parting the waters and leading them to safety. It was a powerful reminder that God is always ready to fight for us when we trust Him. Just like the Israelites, you may feel trapped today. Your circumstances may look impossible, and you might wonder how things will ever change. But just like He parted the sea for them, God will make a way for you. Even when it seems like there's no way forward, trust that He's preparing the way. The situation you see now is not your final destination. God is leading you to something better. So, take heart. If God can part the sea for the Israelites, He can handle whatever you are facing today. Trust Him, surrender to His will, and watch how He moves in your life. His miracles are not just stories from the past. They are for you today. In a world that values instant results and quick fixes, it's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we expect. But God's timing is perfect. The waiting periods, though uncomfortable, are often the moments where our faith is deepened and our trust in Him grows. Remember, just as a farmer waits patiently for the harvest, so too must we wait for the promises of God to unfold in our lives. We often view weakness as a limitation, but in God's economy, weakness is the very place where His power is made perfect. Remember the Apostle Paul, who said, "When I am weak, then I am strong." God's strength is made perfect in the areas where we think we are least capable. When we rely on His power, we move beyond our own limitations and tap into a strength that defies the natural. There will be times when doubt tries to creep in, making us question whether we can really achieve what God has promised. But doubt does not define us unless we let it. Keep moving, even when doubt knocks at your door. Every step of obedience is a declaration that you believe in God's power to fulfill His promises. The things that seem impossible to us are often the very things that God specializes in. The bigger the challenge, the greater the opportunity for God's glory to be revealed. Embrace the impossible not as a setback, but as an opportunity for God to demonstrate His power. What you see as a mountain, God sees as a stepping stone. When that door opens, walk through it with confidence. Know that you are stepping into the life that God has been preparing for you all along. But remember, the journey doesn't end there. Preparation is key. Stay connected to God. Be faithful in the small things, even the ones that don't seem significant now. Be positive and surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Above all, remember that God's timing is perfect. Be ready and step through those doors with boldness. The best is yet to come. Your new chapter is just around the corner. Trust in His plan and step forward with confidence, because God is about to do something amazing in your life. So I declare over you today, you will not give up in the waiting. You will not break in the pressing. You will not quit in the silence. You are becoming while you wait. You are rising even when you can't feel it. And you will look back on this season with awe, not because of how fast it happened, but because of how God kept you while you waited. Your delay is not the enemy's victory. It's God's strategy.